What did teens and young adults do with all their downtime before the internet was easily accessible to everybody? The implication that teens and young adults spend all their time exclusively on the internet nowadays is incorrect. Things teens enjoyed in the past: crafting projects, baking, outdoor activities, building Lego sets, reading, going out with friends to cheap places like 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts, playing with their pets, the advantage of hanging out with their friends on FaceTime, with the younger preteens often combining FaceTime with a game like Roblox or Minecraft if their chatting function on those games is disabled. I'm 30, I had dial-up in high school. It's like buffering to internet. Can't do much with it. Anyways, I'd play outside my siblings, ride bikes, garden or play outdoors, read. I loved parks, but they were hard to access. I was still playing as a junior in high school. A lot of people would skate. Honestly, I'd probably continue if I didn't start college, which is surreal to think about. I didn't start getting into phones till about 24. Although they existed, I didn't have one. After college, I bought my first smartphone on my own and slowly joined social media and stuff like that. We mostly just watched TV and listened to the radio. Being from the projects, some joys like the lasted books or toys were hard to come by at times. Even the clones were seen as a treat. Of course, we had our fashion dolls like Barbie and building blocks like Lego. Still, many were on a fixed income, and the rent was often demanded on how much someone earned. As a result, many resorted to side jobs, even the underground market, to earn a few extra dollars. I was taught about some media piracy and how to make a copy for myself. I grew up in the 70s, 80s. We played outside any chance we got. Woods, lake, creeks, sports. I played alone often and had imaginary teams loosely based on real teams. I played against other made-up teams for football that was difficult and didn't last many years. Baseball and basketball. My basketball team was the Iowa Hawkeyes, and we won the title just about every year, with the main rival being Oregon State. I would actually draw up a bracket with about 8-12 teams and would have different host sites arenas. Ate out with bows in the hallways after theater rehearsals. Walked off campus to get hot dogs and cheese fries at the place up the street from high school. Went to concerts. Made mixtapes, cassettes. I used to love drawing or listening to music and transcribing lyrics, especially on tapes and CDs that didn't include lyrics. Also went outside for most of the day, wandering around the city with no real plans, only to eventually meet up with people and hang out for hours on end, ride bikes, walk through the woods, go fishing, etc. What's messed up is at 40 I want to do this and have nothing keeping me from doing this, but I usually just sit on the couch scrolling my phone instead. I should go take a walk. As someone who grew up as the internet did, people used landline phones to actual call friends and others. TV was a way bigger deal. IMO. Played a lot of sports with kids around my age. Soccer, football, street hockey, going to the community pool. I'll be honest, the sport thing dropped off a lot when I started to do university. Tried doing ad hoc soccer they did there, and I generally didn't care to play as much anymore. Also, video games was a thing from my childhood up until even now, just less so. The internet is still not easily accessible to everyone. Surely it is for us here, so I guess I'll start with community education classes. Imagine going to a community center to learn how to do something, perhaps how to bake bread for free. We also spent a lot more time outside, doing things, biking, riding a bus to go places we've never been to before, studying, reading and writing, which is what we do here. Try to imagine something you've never done before and do it safely. Me and my friends, as pre-internet nerds, played Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, took turns trying to not get wiped out in the original Civilization, and played DD. We also ventured into the woods behind local parks to build forts, once even spending an entire day trying to create our own Stone Age culture. And every year at the birthday party for our one friend, we would bring wooden swords and other not lethal, but still pretty dangerous weapons and have a stupid fighting tournament. Indoors with my mum or dad. played video games, listens to music, helped my mum with the cleaning, helped my dad with fixing something at home, or we all sat together for a blockbuster video night, walked around, rode around in cars, went to dances, played sports, attended school, etc. We didn't have time for any internet. When I wrote a report, I went to the library and did the research by hand. We learned how to type first on manual typewriters and later on electric typewriters. I graduated high school in 1974. We weren't bored. We played cards and board games, hung out at fast food joints, cut school, drank beer, took drugs, and rode around a lot. I love how most people's answers are pretty much the same. So nostalgic. I really do wish life was the way it was back then. I would go and knock on my friend's door to ask if they can come out. We would ride our bikes all over. We would venture up the woods and make a den with rucksacks of food and drink as we would make a day of it. Get home at like 6 p.m. summer months dirty. Hang out in the park and just chat rubbish. Not a care in the world. As a teen, I read a lot and watched TV specifically on Sundays because that's where they sent all the good shows like BTVS. When my friends and I hung out, we often watched movies, rented them, or went to the movies or rode our bikes around town. Sometimes we'd go play laser tag. Mostly, we just hung out and talked with the TV turned on in the background. Oh, we also played console games. Offline, no FC. Oh, and skateboards. We did a lot of skating. Played the first few games in most series you can name before they were all online. Resident Evil, Call of Duty, Halo, Final Fantasy, Smash Bros, Mario Party, Unreal all existed before everyone had easy access to the internet. So, honestly, things weren't really all that different except we sat in the same room and used split screen. And phones were a thing. We just tied up the landlines all day rather than texting. It's called being social, something this generation seems not to know how to do. No surprise. Folks being depressed, anxious, alone, and single have only gone up since the internet has become more prevalent. Now folks' dating lives have gone downhill as well. Think males' first sexual encounter by age has only been going up as well. Yes, in society, it's only going in the wrong direction with technology not helping. Video games, watched movies, watched TV shows, called each other, prank called each other, went to the mall, went cruising. One quiet Saturday afternoon, my friends and I started wrestling outside of his apartment. This caused a crowd to grow. This caused others to want to get involved. Before we knew it, there was a tournament bracket and a poorly designed title belt. So, starting a fight club with children. We explored the woods a lot. Score if you found a nudie magazine. We'd go steal cigarettes, or buy them from the machine at restaurants. My brother and I used to dress up in my dad's old Air Force clothes and painted our faces then. Would try to sneak around and spy on dad while he mowed the lawn. Always acted like he didn't see us. But man, it was fun. Felt like a real spy lying in a bush trying not to be seen. I used to ride my bike. When with friends we'd ride bikes or play like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, wiffle ball, kickball, video games. Walk to the store to get like a snack and the soap. Lots of card games to like spit. All the time with family. Although, I was just at the cusp of the information age. So internet was AOL when I was like 9-12 and full blown at like 13. Then it was like RunEscape and Halo. Tree houses. Listened to music, played in bands, skateboarded, rollerbladed, talked on the phone, watched movies, played video games, went on walks, went to the mall, roller rings, movie theaters, etc. I lived in a smallish town, about 20,000 people in the Midwest. Was a good time and place to be a kid. It's dramatic, so trigger warning, I rode my bike everywhere for miles around. Oh, and there was this incredibly huge deal on cable TV in the early 80s called NTV. Music videos 24/7. That took up a, now looking back on it, crazy amount of my free time indoors. So if you think about it, Nothing's really changed, just many more sources to capture our increasingly short attentions. Outdoors, often on a bike, and find a hidden area of the public park where we could smoke and drink. Over to friends' houses, to the large shopping mall to spend the day, see and be seen. Lunch was a hot pretzel and orange Julius. Then head to the movie theater at one end of the mall. Read a book or draw paint while listening to the new album that you just bought at the record shop. Played games outside. Read books, ride bikes, and when outside didn't come inside till it was dinner time. Eat but only go inside for bathroom breaks. Get snack or water if we were hungry, thirsty, and pretty much just loved being outdoors, especially when we had our own book club and spent time outside reading. To the internet, played Space Cadet Pinball 3D, played on original Nintendo DS, went on bike rides, walks, sat around with friends while a DVD played and played DS together. Played games on PSPs too, much same as we do today. 'Tis just the world at our fingertips now to distract us more. Day played cricket with the neighborhood, played games PS1, PS2 with my younger brother, watched Nickelodeon with snacks. Rode bikes like we some vigilantes. Man, what a time it was. In person to gain your friends, let alone followers. Communication skills were much more important yet overlooked. And write down contact info passwords rather than a phone app remembering it for you, etc.